Guess what's making a comeback? The Yugo. Yeah, the 1980s punchline on wheels, the only car where the check engine light came on during the test drive. It should have come on during financing. Hey, man, I need to get these car payments below $35 a month. That engine light should come on right there, man. Bail. We're going to do it with a longtime buddy, Chase Cammack. He's a car guy, so I needed to bring him on, and we'll do that right now. Hey, Chase, welcome in, bud.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I am so happy to have you. A little background here. I've known Chase for years and years now. We met through a weird place. His mom used to be a manager at a place where I worked, and I met this dude, and we just became quick buddies. And he's mechanical, been around cars his whole life, and I haven't. I got an uncle that was a great diesel mechanic, grandpa, cousins, but man, I don't know nothing. So I got my guy here.
Yeah, you met my mom in her Slash days. My mom had big brown hair. I remember you telling me that her ID badge, she looked like Slash on it. That always stuck with me. It was like the first thing you ever said to me. Anyway, yeah, but it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on your show, man. I would listen to this show religiously every week, so it's a huge honor for me to be on here. And
very nice. Well, settle in, man.
Have this, man. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Good deal. So, like I mentioned in the intro, investors plan to bring back the Yugo. Retro styling, and it's a modern gas engine. They're going to have an EV option as well. That's staggering. I'm a few years older than you, so I remember the heyday. They came out when I was in junior high, and it was synonymous with just rattletrap piece of crap car.
Yeah, they're not very good looking cars. They were built to make some money and to sell high, price low. These cars were only around $3,900 brand new. In today's economy, that would be around $11,000.
Egads. Man, I remember, first of all, it's the height of the Reagan 80s. I know that there were several ups and downs with the Cold War, the 60s with the Cuban Missile Crisis, but in the 80s, it was white hot. Like, we didn't know if missiles were coming every day. And so this Eastern European car comes along. Yugoslavia is not even a country now. And
no,
they said, hey, we got this car, and it was imported in the US. It started in 85. And like you said, around $4,000. Was the cheapest new car in America at the time. And I looked at that, man. The sales peak, they sold 141,000 cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the quality issues, man, they were famously flimsy. Like, you couldn't lean against them. Bad wiring, doors that wouldn't shut properly, dash lights that would come on and off. I went to YouTube to watch some old commercials, and the comments were just gold. So one guy said he had one in high school, and he was out in the country with a buddy, and the headlights just dimmed over about 5 minutes, and then they just went out, and they were out there in pitch black. They had to drive real slow with their heads out the window. And that was, from what I understand, that was pretty typical.
I don't doubt it was. The cardboard being super thin in the car, I'm sure made the wind come through easy. You have like a fifth window in the car all the time. But these things would get up to 60 miles an hour in a blistering 13.5 seconds, 14 seconds, 0 to 60. They had
blistering.
They had a 1.1 liter that you could get in it with a 4-speed, or you could upgrade to the GV model, which is good value. That was their way to bring it and highlight affordability to people.
Were they shrink wrap at Walmart? Could you get them off the shelf? Was it great value?
Walmart it'd be Sam's at that point, I believe.
Consumer Reports called it. They said it was hard to recommend at any price when they reviewed it when it first came out.
Terrible.
They were talking about the that they had to do crash tests and all that stuff. And from what I understand, it just crinkled like a beer can. They had it passed, in quotes, a winter start test, because they left it in a heated garage overnight, and then they cranked it that morning, and it started.
Well, they're lucky it
Let's
did.
see.
They were 1.1 liter, 60 horsepower, or you get a 1.3 liter at, I believe, 70 horsepower. Um, they were just the throwaway economy cars. Literally, they're throwaway cars. They were built in poor conditions. The place that they built them in was actually just dirt floors and
Really?
metal walls,
Did
no
they
heat
build
and
them?
air.
There were no factories over here, right?
No factories over here. They would ship them over. Yeah, they were just marketed here from 85 to 92 here in America, but they went all the way to 2008.
And yeah, boy, don't they have enough going on in Eastern Europe not to be selling on Yugos?
Yeah.
Like bread lines and is good. Buy this car, is good. Why not? Yeah, I don't know.
They are
It was
considered
like
one of the worst cars ever due to poor build quality, reliability issues, and questionable safety standard. The car once billed as the worst car in history. The worst car in history.
it was the automotive equivalent of like buying a U-Haul, like renting a U-Haul for the for its life.
Yeah.
I heard that it was featured in Die Hard with a Vengeance. They said it was during a chase
Really?
scene they had a Yugo.
Really?
No, I don't know if he got out and ran to chase it.
Was John McClane driving it?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, they could do it today.
It was, there was a club. You owned a Yugo. It was like a club of people waiting for tow trucks. Like they all had something in common.
The tow trucks followed them around.
Well, I remember the commercials, and it was the affordable car for everyone. And on the commercials, everybody seemed to love it. So maybe I'm wrong. Here's context. The Honda Civic, the same year it came out, was over $6,000. So the Yugo looked like a steal. Now, understand that's Japanese engineering and Eastern European Soviet engineering. So that $2,000 might be better served buying the car.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be an EV version. There's going to be an EV version of the Yugo. Can you imagine that? Like there were wiring issues anyway. God, Lee, man, that thing would. I don't know.
Well, Scott, they even made a cabriolet version. I mean, they were smart enough to make a cabriolet so you could drop the top on this little guy and your GV and go cruise the boulevard. You go cruise 12th Street, and
it was convenient at airports because if you drove to the airport, I guess you could just pick it up like a suitcase and take it with you, or you got off the plane, you got a car.
Well, and that's one thing that was being used for in the 80s is remember the big Power Man competition, Scott, that we had on ESPN that we would watch?
I do.
Just be, okay, those guys that were basically pro wrestlers,
right.
They would use those cars to pick up and to pick them up to do the routines, the stuff with them. So they were using Yugos at that point.
Man,
you can go back on ESPN Plus and probably watch that for $30 a month.
So it's not new that they bring back a car badge. Right? VW did it with the Beetle, the Ford Bronco. There's been a lot. But those cars didn't have the history. Like if I'm going to bring back a car, I might even just start a new company if I have the tooling to build a car. Why would you slap that name on it?
Well, maybe there's a following. I can't think of why. Because one of the things about that they failed with was their parts supply. They couldn't get the parts to replace the parts that were breaking. So they couldn't even build demand for after the car was sold. Emissions failures were a big thing also in America is one reason they failed. So they're kind of hitting the electrical market. We get the emissions failures out of the way. And people just didn't want to buy them.
That's kind of a deal now, though. Like if it's the same logic behind Crystal Pepsi, those reboots, like it failed miserably. So let's do it again. It makes good sense.
It's Hollywood, man. It's they remake movies that don't need to be remade all the time.
There was a glut of, I don't know if they were gimmick cars, but like low end budget cars back then. Remember the Suzuki Samurai?
I do. I remember the Suzuki Samurai.
It was like Jeep's like special needs little brother.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I remember Letterman had top 10 it was like top 10 failed ads, and the Suzuki's was like the Suzuki Samurai. What are you, chicken? And it just showed it upside down.
Does Suzuki still make cars?
I think so. I haven't seen one in years. I haven't seen those or Isuzu's.
Yeah.
I think Mazda still makes them, but there's a lot of those companies that I don't see on the road.
Yeah, Mazda's still on the road here. I see them, but Suzuki Samurai. I know that they don't make the Samurais, but I haven't seen. It's like Mitsubishi. It's like I think they still make it, but I'm not sure. Because
that's true.
Mitsubishi, with the Eclipses, they were You see any Eclipses on the roads today?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons
Not
for
so
that.
Much. Well,
I don't think. I don't. You don't see a lot of Yugos.
They weren't well built cars. They were made out of cardboard, but they weren't well built cars either.
Right. The year after the Yugo made its debut, Hyundai debuted the Excel, and it was they called it was a real car. They said for cheap, and it was the bargain pitch as well. It had quality problems as well. So, I mean, you get what you pay for. My sister had a Ford Fiesta, and it debuted I think in '88, and it was designed by Mazda, and it was built by Kia, but was sold by Ford. So, globalization in one VIN, and its launch price was under $6,000.
So that would be today in today's standards, that would be 15 or so.
I don't know, but here's the rub, and I'm kind of making a confession here. First of all, Chase, you know me. I'm a guy of a certain carriage, let's say. Big fat guy. And when I lived in Denver, I drove a Geo Metro.
Perfect.
I almost had to roll the windows down and wear that thing like a shirt. It needed it was small.
Were you doing the Ace Ventura out the window? You're just kind of hanging your head out the window
it was a convertible. I drove a Metro convertible, and
really?
And it was a 3-cylinder, and I was asking a lot of those 3 cylinders with me in those mountains. Yeah.
Okay. Was it a 4? Yeah. So did your head stick up above the roof?
It was kind of like
line, or the windshield line, rather?
Kind of like Dino on the Flintstones at the theater when he pokes his head out.
Yeah,
it was a little like that. It
right.
touched. I think. First of all, I've got like 6-inch tall hair. I'm 6'2", and I got this orange afro, and so I could fill out a car.
Oh man. Right.
So
you were looked at. People were noticing you.
I imagine they would have to.
How could you not?
Yeah, I bet that was a sight when I think about it. You've seen that.
That was a sight. Yeah.
You've seen the guy from Monopoly driving that sports car, and he's like 3 feet above the windshield. That's kind of what it looks like. I don't know if there's a nostalgia for it. I think that it's permanently burned into our minds that it's an inexpensive car. So like bargain hunters might be looking that direction. But hey, I went online to a car sale site, and they're 50 and 60,000 mile Yugo for sale for like $6,000 and $7,000.
Yes, there are followings on these, and I saw that if they're in good value today or good shape today, that they're worth $4,000 to $8,000 is generally what they're worth today. Some have reached over $9,000 in auction, which that would have to be almost like a museum buying that.
I don't know.
That for their
Does anyone need
a room just to say here is the worst car of all time?
And they're still fetching that money. I mean, there's obviously, when you look at just society in general, there are certain segments of self-loathing people that will buy anything or do anything. Like, so I don't get it, but I'm not, it's not any of me.
Hey, to each his own, I guess. If you want a Yugo, you can get one.
Yeah, you would think. But see, how come it has that cachet to it? Like, you can't get a Festiva. I think they give those away on Craigslist. So was just Yugo was such a spectacular failure?
Think because I think it was. I think that's why you have to go. It's when you are known as the worst car ever built. in the history of history, that's going to have people buying like, hey, for just wanting to say this is the worst car ever made. Take a look at it. Let's take this out. Because if I had the chance, okay, I'm a car guy. If I had the chance to get into one and drive one, I would absolutely do it.
Yeah.
100%.
But wouldn't you have the urge to like hit
just
other
to be able
cars?
to say, hey, I drove the worst
wouldn't
car
you have
ever.
the urge to hit other cars like you're like on a bumper car? Like it'd feel like it.
Probably. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If I saw a 85 Toyota Corolla, it would definitely be on.
Yeah, I don't.
100%.
I can't imagine. I guess it's just nostalgia's sake. I don't know. The Volkswagen Beetle, the reboot of the Beetle, I saw a lot of them on the road, but they eventually fizzled out too. It might have something to do with that little bastard with the mustache that invented it. It just has a bad taste in people's mouth.
Well, they also came back. VW came back with the bus. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're awful looking.
Well, they were awful looking.
So
like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. They were a box going down the road.
Some of those.
They were a box, but these were,
the touring version of that had the little windows at the top. You remember those that had the windows all the way down the length of the bus?
Mm-hmm.
Those in good shape are like $100,000.
Yep. Yeah. They were on the curvature. They follow the curvature. Yeah. Yeah, I know that there's a comedian that has a huge collection of them, which I can't remember who it is, but he has a huge collection of just VW buses. He has like 12 or 13 of them, and they're beautiful. They're all showroom quality, like full one, like restorations. They're beautiful. It's a fluffy guy.
Oh yeah, the fat comedian, that guy.
Yes, that guy, right. The fat comedian.
Okay, that narrows it.
He's a sight going down the road in those things. You know what I mean? I mean, you should understand.
I do. I remember Jay Leno said that the new Yugos come with a bus pass. All right, here I am doing everybody's favorite part of the show, a commercial telling you to listen to the podcast that you're currently listening to. I get it. It's preaching to the choir, but let's build that choir. This thing is a lot of fun to do, but it's a lot of work. If you enjoy it, please send it to your friends and hit up Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen, and give us a review. That helps build us up. And also, I never mentioned YouTube. We're on YouTube. And you can tell I never mention it because nobody's looking at it. That's a great way to find reels from the show and interact as well. So you go over there, get it? Yugo, because that's what the episode's about. Hilarious.
Yeah, so I asked why Yugo's making a comeback, and it's because this professor, he acquired the rights to it and is a leading project to create a new affordable hatchback that pays homage to the original car, but with a modern technology and safety. So he's promising you're actually getting a good car this time. You're getting a car. You're not getting wheels made in a cardboard box. You're not getting a soapbox derby racer. You're actually getting a car this time with technology and safety, sir.
Gotcha. Well, Bricklin was the brains behind the original import to the U.S. He had a car that he pitched in the 70s that had gull wings, and it was just some monstrosity, goofy-looking thing. And so he struck out twice, so if he's still around, he's got another one in him, I think, probably.
Yeah, I'm glancing over him right now, but like they just kind of like briefly talk about him a little bit, and before the Malcolm Bricklin attended the Los Angeles Auto Show while the show was still in progress, flew to Yugoslavia to make a deal to import the Yugo to the United States himself.
Well, I asked the question on my personal Facebook page this week. Did anybody ever own one? And a good buddy of mine said right here, and it would have been one of the last people I would have suspected drove one of these things. And he called me and we talked about it. He bought it in Alabama. He drove it to a job site an hour and a half away. He used it just for that. And he said he drove the wheels off the thing, which it's a Yugo, so that might have been it was 2 weeks, but he had a problem with it. They had famously had timing chain problems, and they blamed maintenance because people weren't maintaining them. But I mean, I don't know if they wound
Mhm.
up.
Yeah, they were an intermittent engine. Yeah, yeah. So it was an intermittent engine. So if the chain broke on it, um, and it died, and you tried to start it back because hey, my car just died. So your first reaction is to start it. You would then drop the valves into the
Yes.
pistons and bend your valves, and so that's a bad situation. There's safety measures now with cars with that. That they won't do that anymore. But yeah, that was a
I
thing.
saw
Yep.
pictures of,
And they didn't have the replacement parts to replace
yeah,
them.
I saw pictures of that, and like the tops of the engines, uh, had holes in it, like cylinder sized holes. I don't understand. Like, I think a Canadian company, like they're right across the border, they're North America, but dude, back in the 80s, one of those Eastern Bloc Soviet countries were famous for their horrible technology. Like, is new car good? Buy it. Why not? Like, well, because of all of these
Yeah, yeah.
things.
We make do.
So I don't know. I don't know. I know that in the town I grew up in, O'More, there was, I don't think they had sold Yugos, but there was a place on Shields that sold DeLoreans for a couple of years. It was a Chevy dealer. And
Okay.
I
Okay.
think they
Okay.
may have sold them for a while. Um, I don't know. I don't remember any local dealers having them offhand.
No, I don't ever remember seeing them in Oklahoma whatsoever at all. No, there was never one.
Oh, no kidding. They
Don't
didn't
find it.
sell that for that long. I wonder. So I'm sure they weren't just Yugo dealers. Like they had to be. It had to be something they would offer. But I guess there was a problem. I don't know if GM or Mopar or any of the big guys would want you selling those cars on the same lot if you're a certified dealer. I don't know how they found distributors.
Yeah, I don't know who was buying them. No, no, I don't know
My
how they
buddy
were
Jeff
doing it.
Hunter in
I
Alabama was
almost want to
buying
think
them.
this is maybe an East Coast. Well, so that leads me to believe that they were, East Coast cars.
Oh, maybe.
You know, they get, and in the North they got ate up by the salt and wet because they were
Right.
cardboard and fall apart. And Alabama seems to be a pretty safe area to. You'll have a little bit of rust, but it'll
If you're in
make it.
Birmingham, who's going to steal it? It's a Yugo.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're not. Nobody's still in that car. Uh, Dirty Mike and the boys wouldn't want that
Man,
car.
that's a shame. However, it would have been good to put one or two on ice so you could sell it to some sucker that just got to have one in 2024.
Hmm.
So says,
Yeah, if you could find a nice one, you could probably flip it for $6,000. If you can buy it for
listen to
two, get it.
yourself. If you could find a nice Yugo. Look, I wish them luck.
There's a following, Scott. If you can find a
Look,
niche,
I
yeah,
wish them luck, man. This is a Gen X
you could all,
podcast.
yeah.
If leg warmers come back tomorrow and kids with ET shirts, I'm all about it. I hope nothing but the best for Yugo, and I hope to see them on the road. Well, not near me, veering into me because they can't steer it. But I come on back, Yugo. Let's do it.
Hey, if they want to make another go, they just got to bring the safety standards in. They're willing to do it. So thank God that we could put people in it and not have to worry about it. But the cabriolet, I'm looking at it now. We were talking about the convertible earlier, and man, that thing has a pretty good slope back windshield. If you're a tall person, you stare that thing in the face and you get in a good accident, it's gonna take your head
Look,
completely
man,
off.
it's Yugoslavian. Is good. Boris drove too
It's
fast.
good.
Next. So it's
Nah,
okay. It's
yeah.
just kind of a different look, man. They had reputations anyway. Remember the YouTube video where they were driving around those little East German cracker boxes? What were they called? I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, there was a YouTube video that was famous, or YouTube video famous for having these cars in it. They drove them all around, I think, Berlin, and it was right around the wall when the wall fell down. And they were so available back then because people would just leave them on the side of the road when they died. So it's a great history. By the way, the Germans would eventually get it together with making cars. I'm not saying that's the same now, but
Right.
again,
Yeah.
Eastern
Sure.
European. What are you gonna do? You're gonna get you a vodka and your Yugo. Let's go. Natasha, get the car.
Let's go.
All right, I think we've done it. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What's that?
I saw a picture of it, of the new prototype, and it is not far off. It's very modern looking as it was. It's just a modern update. It's not great. It's not my taste, but it's not the worst looking car ever.
So it's not a
for
it's
a
not a
hatchback.
68 Camaro.
No, not at all. It looks like a VW Rabbit, like a modern version of a VW Rabbit. That's what it looks like. That's to be honest.
You know, they're going to do that at an auto show. They're going to have it under wraps, and they're going to say, "Behold the new, behold the new Yugo," and they're going to pull it back, and people are going to, "This is you just waxed an old one." I don't think this is new at all.
Where are they going to build it?
I don't know.
Though?
That's a good question. Is it still going to be? Well, I guess in Serbia now, or I don't know.
It would have to be Serbia. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a Serbian
Bosnia,
vehicle.
I don't know.
There's not much info about it.
Well, they're trying, Chase. Let's give them.
Well, you know, I don't know if you want to just, you know, Yugo is. I don't know if that's the brand that you want to go with to put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Like they're gonna.
You could have made this anything. Yeah, you could have made this anything.
Yeah, you're going to reboot something. Why not the Gremlin? Hey, tired of not having fires in your gas tank? Get the brand new Pinto, all new for 2027. Like, they could have done anything. Although, I guess you can't just start making Pintos with Ford around. They might have something to say about that. I don't need it.
Yeah.
All right. Look, man, I needed the big brain for this one. I would have just read a news story and then we would have called it a night. But you were that bridge. I need a couple of men in my life, you know, that have turned a wrench. You're that guy.
Well, I can always be that guy for you. I appreciate that,
Chase,
sir.
man.
Yeah,
it was so great to reconnect.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely, sir. Anytime.
Great job, buddy.
Everybody needs a Yugo sometime.
I bought my Yugo because now I can afford a brand new car.
I think it's fun to drive, and it beats my old carpool.
I like the rack and pinion steering and the front wheel drive.
We wanted a dependable second car.
And this Yugo's just what we need.
The 87 Yugo GV is still only $39.90. Call 1-800-USA-YUGO for the dealer nearest you.
Everybody needs a Yugo.
Okay, so I have a question. What's a car that you would like to see come back that's not a car model anymore?
That's a great question.
I
would like to see a stylized version of the old Trans Am, a new version. I mean, Pontiac's not around anymore. GM could do it probably, but I think a new version of that. You T-top it out, put the eagle on the hood, man, Bandit.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fantastic. You have modern day Burt Reynolds walking around.
I would love it.
You know? That
would make me grow a mustache.
I'm
willing to grow a mustache for that.
I could do the
Could
cowboy
you imagine
hat.
though a new?
I'll get a girlfriend named Frog. I don't care.